så raai dankie pappa. Ek so raai dankie. Ek weet nie of ek kan werk nie, friends. Hier die middag. Dis wanneer gaan dit aan? Dis die probleem, ja. Dankie pappa. Sis, ek is klaar besig om live. Ek is klaar live, maar my Reddit stream is nie besig om te werk nie. Ernest, how cool to see you here. Thank you for the babe for joining us. Shanana. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I've been getting schooled again as of late. Yeah, Reddit is being a little bit bonky, but we're gonna try again, and then try again, and then it will probably work. Mount, Ernest, Shannon Moore, love to you, thank you, Dr. Ryan. I like that. That format is cool, of saying hi to friends. It works, and it makes my brain happy. So many things trying to interrupt us now. I'm a bit lighter than the past days. I'm happy to hear that, Ernest. You deserve that, friend. I'm happy to hear that you get to have some lightness while I have a little bit more heaviness. You know, that way I know that within the infinite consciousness there are individuals who have lightness while others have heaviness, and individuals who have heaviness while others have lightness. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for sharing with me, man. I'm gonna keep trying to go live on Reddit. It's being a little bit sparsy. That's good to hear, Ernest. It is mine, friends, mine. Jovan, thank you for joining us, beloved friend. How nice to see you. How are you feeling, Jovan? How are you feeling? Let's see if I can get us a better angle. Yeah. I don't know if the Reddit is gonna be perfectly in frame, but we get to have some nature vibes. Mountain, tree, other tree. This time, third time's a charm, right? You can still kind of see me in the stream, so I'm happy. I'll read us something worth saying, and then we can maybe like touch on what it is we want to touch on today. All of these things we're saying, it kind of feels like it's old versions of me looking at me, having grown, still being the same not grown person. Mariah, good morning, beloved friend. I think this one, yes, this is the okay. I Reddit stream dropped one more time. This time it's gonna work. I'm loving my stormy weather. We needed the rain here, and that means the rivers will be up and my yak will be yakking. Man, that sounds sick. Like, not only can there be gratitude for rain, you know, but for the fact that we need rain right now, or wherever it is we are, but the fact that you can go and literally kayak as a result of the rain. Oh goodness, how much water. How much water, Jovan. I kind of like to think about that when I look at storms. You know, we have this certain idea of how much water is necessary. If you're gonna water your plants, for example, like I've been watering the trees, and there's like X amount of water necessary, right? And then it rains for like a day, and that's the amount of water that falls. Like I don't know if the trip that I'm tripping out about is translating, but I'm still waiting for the Reddit to work. I think no, I don't think it's working just yet. Nice, Joe. We had a cool storm the other night. It was great. Just being able to be inside. I see Amanda is here as well. It's so nice to have you, friend. Thank you for joining us, for sharing the space. Reddit seems to be spicy times 2. This is the 4th time we've bunked out, which is usually not the case. Yeah. 4 times bunked out. 5th time's the charm. Let's see. Can't be proven. Let them be wrong about you. Only you can be right about you. Is the Reddit title. You gonna work Reddit? Doesn't seem that way just yet. It's still giving me the connection issues prompt. Storms the other night. Man. Today's topic is really eating at me. Ermias Plur. Good reminder to have. God will uplift, peace, love, unity, and respect. And if we can continue practicing that, I'll be at peace. No matter how many times my stream fails, I'll continue to try. I will not give up. Don't you know, Reddit? Don't you know? They should just as well like let me in the first time, right? Like it's less efficient. It's less efficient not to let me stream than it is to let me stream. Ermias Blur, yes, Amanda. Ermias Blur. Ermias Blur to you, Amanda. Thank you for joining me. I think it's worked now. Damn it, I got too excited too quickly. But I think I'm going to stop postponing and just read the thing we're saying to you friends directly today. It goes, stop and say, it is very good. Look at everything in your life and look at it from a place of awe. Own it as self-created. It is very good. I have done this. And it is good that I have created. Even this experience of, ceaselessly trying to go live and then it just dropping over and over again. It is good. And I have chosen to do it is good and I have chosen to create this. It is good that I have chosen to create. It is good that I have created. It is good. Oh, let's try again. Seventh time is the charm, I'm sure. Yeah, Shannon, I love the way you can smell the rain. Apparently, we're smelling dust. And there's a word for that smell as well. Something with a P, I believe. Pertrith? Something like that. Isn't there a term? I was just thinking about the same thing, Amanda. We're in the same frequency. What is that word? Something with a P. I think it's something P. No, it's gone. The fractal used to be there somewhere, Amanda, for both of us. Hopefully someone can help us. The reality of who you are cannot be destroyed. I cannot be further from you than the width of a thought. Create that thought. For you are worthy of creation and all that you create. So stop and say, it is very good. Look at everything in your life and look at it from a place of awe. Own it as self-created. Today's topic is about letting people be wrong about you specifically. I was kind of thinking of today about letting people be wrong in general and how wanting to be right in a certain context can just do the opposite of what you think it will do. Becoming or being right in a conversation or an argument isn't necessarily going to cause the other person to be like, oh, you're right. Oh, okay, guess I'm gonna start believing that too. Nope. Doesn't work that way even at all. Not even for a little bit, unfortunately. So the only alternative is to let people be wrong about things. Not only to let them be wrong about things, but more importantly, and this is the lesson that I'm trying to learn today, let them be wrong about you. Let them be wrong about you. Let them be wrong about who they think you are. Let them be wrong about what they think will happen to you. Let them be wrong about the life that you're going to be living. Let them be wrong about everything. Because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter not from a perspective of nihilism, but it doesn't matter from the perspective that you can be the only one who is right about you. And even then, you're still going to have a hard time being right about you. And that's literally the process that we're all a part of. This process of becoming who we are. And nobody, not me, sometimes not even yourself, can tell you who that is. Nobody knows. Oh goodness. This is a lesson I've been needing to accept for a while. Me too, Jovan. That's why I feel it's important to talk about it. And again, not from this perspective of you're doing something wrong and now I'm saying these things so that you can start doing it right. From this perspective of I'm doing this thing wrong, how about we try and help each other? So thank you, Jovan, for being in synchronicity with me. I needed to hear that, Mel. Thank you, Shanna. And I know, friends, I know that you're feeling these same things. So much love to brother Isaac. I think our Reddit stream is actually working. Are you Reddit friends in this space with us right now? I love you. How about that? Yeah. So if you didn't hear it yet, now you have. You can go into the day. You can go into life knowing that someone has said, I love you to you. You can freaking hear it again and again and again and again and again. For infinite. Why can't I words right now? I feel like I've been wrecked a little bit today. I was considering slash articulating slash trying to figure out how to prove someone wrong about what I am slash who I am. Prove them wrong about their idea of me. And then I was like really faced with that, and I was like, yeah, how am I gonna do this? And then I was like, yeah, don't. How about you just don't do that? How about you stop? Because you can't. You can't prove to someone that they're wrong about you. Because what they think about you is a direct reflection of themselves. What they see in you is but a reflection of themselves. Only you can be right about you, friend. Try to be. Realize that power and try to be. Because what's right is going to be very, very intricately you. It's going to be your experience of part animator. Good morning to you, friend. What a pleasure to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? Rambler! Sweet biscuits, it's working. Good morning, Melty. 9th time is the charm, Rambler. They don't call me Meltmore for nothing, dude. I'll keep trying. For infinity. For infinity. I'll keep trying. I won't give up. Today's message came from this conversation that me and my dad had about my opinion that human beings have infinite potential. This is the statement that I made. Human beings have infinite potential, and my job is to teach or to empower that understanding, for a person to hear my words and to, instead of believing that they are limited, that they are nothing, that they are small, that they are doomed for failure, that they are infinite. That is my mission. That is my goal in life. And my dad not only disagrees with me, but he believes that my goal is evil. He believes convincing people that they are empowered, convincing people that they have infinite potential, I'm going to be taking something away from them. And in my world, it couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. It couldn't be the furthest thing from right in my life, right? What I consider being right. So I feel that he's wrong about me and about the way that I see the world. But I'm realizing more so than ever now that there is no proving him wrong. I can only let him be wrong. I can show him that he's wrong. I can live in a way where he's only going to be more wrong. And it was this conversation had about what the universe allows. And then his response was, yeah, the universe is allowing because you are illusioned. You are falling deeper into the world, falling further away from grace. And I'm like, okay. Okay. And I'm practicing. I'm not good at it yet. I'm really not good at it yet. But I am practicing, and I appreciate you friends practicing with me. I was thinking about that Liverpool Penta 5. I actually sent him a message. I ended up sending him a message, reaching out to him as well. Let people be wrong about you. It's a difficult thing to wrap our heads around, though. Like, I'm struggling. Same. I had a few moments with neighbors yesterday that I've been getting bothered about what they're saying about me based on one bad interaction. And let them say bad things, Amanda, if they want to. Let them be wrong about you as well. Happy to be here to listen to the words of my fellows. Insightful conversation. Thank you, Brother Bay, always, Brother Isaac. Do you think we fear proving all of these people wrong because we are afraid of disappointing? Or is it more fundamental fear of not living in the majority's thought process? I think it is want to be seen in the way that we see ourselves. I feel like that's where it comes from, because we have this understanding of our worldview, we have this understanding of the way we interpret things, and unfortunately that ego interpretation of reality is always going to be biased towards your exact experience and your exact experiences. So as soon as someone else comes into the conversation with you and they not only don't understand where you're coming from, but they're assuming things about you that could be wrong, it hurts twice. Because not only does this person not understand you, they don't understand where you're coming from, but now on top of that, they are projecting onto you the opposite of what you are. So it becomes this point of contention, this point of pride to prove them wrong, to be like, no, but it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve the other person being proved wrong. It doesn't serve you being right. It just creates more turmoil. And the only winning in that scenario is to let the other person be wrong. And that is the most difficult shit for my mind to try and wrap itself around ever. Like, I don't want people to be wrong. How is empowering people evil? Like showing someone a plant, a vegetable garden instead of a grocery shopping is evil. More a part animator. My dad is a very strong Orthodox Christian, and he believes the only way for you to be saved is if you give your heart and soul to Jesus Christ. That's the only way, according to the Christian doctrine. Like, there's literally no other way. And he believes that my message of you are the one in power. You have the ability to make your life heaven or hell. And when you die, it's going to be the exact same thing. I'm not going to go into details about that because it's a little bit woo woo, if you will. But you are the one that is steering right now. You are this conscious awareness, this observer. You've always been this observer. You have just become attached to this mode of observing, of this perspective, of this individual human being, and you have become identified, believing that you're separate, that you are this human being, and everything else is other. But if you take your human being off of the planet, how long do you live for? 2 minutes, if you're lucky? Then you die and you float into the infinite space. You are intrinsically connected to this planet, to the atmosphere, to one another. And I do believe that we as human beings need to come into our power, that we cannot afford anymore to live in a world where people are praying to something outside of themselves to save them, to give them advice, to give them wisdom, to guide them. Nah, 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 nah. If it's an outside thing that is supposed to give you advice, give you wisdom, give you guidance, then it's always going to be faulty. You, you know. Nobody can be right about you. Nobody can be wrong about you. Only you can. Only you know what's up, dude. Only you know what you have been through, the life decisions that you have made, the circumstances that you've experienced, and all of these things have influenced who you are now. All of these things having influenced who you are now is going to continue influencing who you will become. Nobody knows. Nobody knows jack shit, yo. Nobody. Especially me. I don't know nothing. I don't even know proper grammar. You are the one that knows, friend. Like, and that is my message. That is my message. But my dad believes that is an evil one because he believes the only one that knows is the Christian religion. And that is a point of contention for us. And I realize that there is no being right. There really isn't any being right in this conversation. And not only isn't there being right, but I shouldn't want to be right. like right isn't going to give me anything. Like there's not going to be a conversation that I'm going to be right, and then suddenly, I'm going to hyper transform, transcend my physical form, and become spirit again. No, I'm still I'm still just going to be a person, still going to be very much in this circumstance. And the thing is, and this is a conversation I had with him. I I don't want to talk to him, but I do want to talk to him. And I said this to him, and he made a scene about me living as a paradox. And I was like, yeah, welcome to what Meltmore means. That's literally what it is. It's a paradox. Like I can want to talk to you from a place of loving you as your son, but I can not want to talk to you from the place of not wanting to hear the things you have to say. There is very much these paradoxes within everything in existence. And none of us can be right because it's all paradoxes all the way down and all the way up. It's a trip. Cigar joining us. I see Happy Smile Seeker is here as well. Love to you, friend. So nice to see you. I'm currently in a situation that's similar in that I'm trying to just let go. It's difficult at times when values are different and there is no changing the other's perspective. Cigar, it really is that way, huh? I'm happy to see that this message is one that is definitely resonating throughout our humanity right now, that we're going through it as a collective. Hopefully, these words help in some way or another. Semolina, Pilchard. It's nice to have you here, friend. How are you doing? Thank you for the helpful. That's nice of you. How are you, Shanna Banana? Fundamental. It's nice to have you, Isaac. I'm doing well today. Better than the last couple of days. Thank you for asking. How are you? That's beautiful to hear. That's awesome. I'm feeling better than yesterday as well. I'm so happy to hear that. All of you friends are looking to be on the upswing, finding the motivation I was looking for. I'm happy to hear that, Isaac. What does the new moon bring? Oh, it is a new moon soon, isn't it? New moon brings plant life, at least in my mind. I've been really focused on plant life. Oh, how exciting. I love the cold light of a new moon. It's been pretty dark on this side, Isaac. I haven't seen the moon in a few, actually. Some feel they are the divine expression of God. Some feel they are the divine server of God, not mutually exclusive. Some feel they are the divine expression of God. Some feel they are the divine server of God. Are they not mutually exclusive? Are they mutually exclusive? I feel in both circumstances, in both cases, if that understanding and the way that I think of that understanding is true for both people, if they actually consider themselves the divine server of God versus the divine expression of God, I believe every single one of us are. You know, that you as an awareness that is aware of its awareness, is the expression of God. That it's everywhere, technically, right? Like even in the plants, even in that little fly that is just like going about its business. The only difference, really, is the fact that that little fly might not be as intrinsically aware of its own awareness in the same way that we are. And I feel that awareness, that underlying awareness of awareness, the fundamental awareness that is with you throughout all of existence, that is what we can liken to God. The act of being itself. Being, beingness. That is what God is to me. And I believe we are the expressions thereof by being. By being in this moment right now, you are that expression. And when you can recognize every single other person, every single other thing as that expression as well, I believe that it's not mutually exclusive to being the server of God in the same way. If you can recognize God as everything, having given everything, and you consider yourself a divine server to that everything, Only if you treat yourself in the same context, Mariah. Good question, though. Trippy one. New moon brings new beginnings, a clean slate. Here we are once again dealing with the quandary of expectation. We expect to be able to show ourselves in a true way, and it can be jarring to be received in the opposite way that it is, Brother Bear. Yet, realizing just like we create a story based on the noise of the world around us, we do that with the people, especially loved ones. Maybe allow yourself the power to receive the noise he is blasting and tell your story. I'm going to spend some moments of those words. I'm sorry, my friend. Nope, no sorry is necessary. It is intense to be told that the journey for love and self empowerment is a lackluster, wrong pursuit. How could it be? If God is separate, we are not made to feel worthless. Something that I thought about during my meditation today, Isaac. My dad sent me this post. You know, the devil doesn't whisper in your ear, believe in me, believe in me. He whispers in your ear, believe in yourself. And he sends this to me, I don't know from what perspective, from the perspective of telling me that the devil is talking to me and telling me to believe in myself, or comparing me to the devil, telling you to believe in yourself. But if I'm the devil telling people to believe in themselves, then damn it, call me Lucifer. Not sure if I should say shit like that. Your relationship with your dad reminds me of mine with my sister. She's a very devout Christian missionary, but a huge hypocrite in my eyes. Unfortunately, we just can't get along. It's brutal, Amanda, especially since we want to get along. You know, that feeling of I don't want to hear a single word coming from your mouth, but I so desperately want to talk to you. I so desperately want to, love you within expression, within divine expression, and yet, again, that expectation, this learning process, Mel, the sharing is just absolutely priceless and so inspiring. Feeling so grateful. This is what it is, brother Ryan. This is why we do these things, dude. Like it's a little bit weird sometimes, because it very much is a bearing of my soul, and a bearing of my soul in a way that I I didn't even know possible. And the fact that you friends are willing to peer into my soul, learn with me, that's the part that really melts me too, man. Thank you, brother Bear. I'm grateful for you. Cigar joining us on the YouTube. Switch to watching on YouTube from over on Reddit. Thank you for joining us here, friend. Your streams have been helping me figure out how to help myself out of a depression. Religion never helped me with that. Guess I'm a heathen because I want to be a better, happier person. You heathen, you Amanda. How dare you be a happier, more full individual? How could you? So much love to you, Amanda. Thank you for the love, cigar. Well said, Mel. Thank you, Mariah, for the love, friend. I think servant versus expression are just confusing in perspective, and likely both people can't completely see or communicate their perspective. And I'm still stuck on the train of trying to give my dad a psychedelic experience. Unfortunately, brother Ryan, I feel like that would illuminate so much. It would illuminate so much, even in his world of religion. It would probably help him gain more depth with his relationship with God. But I think he's so scared of losing what he thinks his relationship with God is, not realizing that you can't. Nobody can take it away from you, friend. Nobody can take you away from yourself. Nobody, like this thing we're saying, man. And we read it. We actually did read it. Is it here? Yeah. The reality of who you are cannot be destroyed. The reality of who you are cannot be destroyed. It's impossible. I have to go. Love you, Amanda. You were here, friend. Thank you. Everyone, hope everyone treats themselves kindly today. Hugs. Thank you for the streams, and hopefully everyone here is making the space. Thank you so much for the love, Amanda. We'll see you again soon, friend. Loves you. I would have to think it's referencing the acknowledgement of choice as the comparison to the devil. Yeah, probably. I'm not too bothered either way. I believe in what it is I'm doing. I've just been feeling like my dad has been gaslighting me like so much. And I'm realizing that I'm allowing him to gaslight me because I'm trying to prove him right about how wrong he is about me. And then I keep putting myself in a circumstance where he's allowed information to gaslight me with. And then I'm like, I feel horrible because of that. And then I keep going back trying to solve the problem, feeling ass over and over again, and I'm just done feeling like ass. How about I don't want to feel like ass anymore. Daniel joining us. Thank you for joining us, friend. Meld, have you done research on Satanism versus atheism? A bunch. Satanism's. Me and my dad had this conversation yesterday. Maybe it was the day. Satanism's mantra or belief is do what feels right. And my dad was saying this to me from a perspective of, can you believe this is what the Satanists believe? And I was like, I can actually. They need to do what feels right. Again, love is true. If love is true, if what you feel you're doing is right and it's not harming someone, then that sounds like a pretty good philosophy. Maybe the Satanists have something figured out. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much, friend. That means more than I can say. It's okay to let go of the comic necessity of right and wrong. A distinct separation must be made in human society. Right and wrong is necessary to avoid painful chaos. I just want a dad, dude. I just want a dad, man. I don't want a preacher. I don't want a teacher. I don't want someone that is going to save me. And maybe that's what I need to be aware of as well. That's why I consider you friends after all. That's why I don't like the word teacher or guru or whatever, yogi. Batman, thank you for joining us. Mr. Steve Gaiman, amen to you, friend. Let it be so. Do you think your dad might believe that your soul is in peril as your dad is in his job to put you in the right track? My dad believes that my soul is forever damned if I don't believe what he believes. And he doesn't want my soul to be forever damned. But he was convinced that his soul will be forever damned if he doesn't believe what he's believing. And now he's been believing what he's been believing for 40 years. So, not believing that is like a mental impossibility to him. So, believing that means that I have to believe it too. So, it's a whole little bit contrived. What are your thoughts on Satanism and the fact that it is the most part nothing to do with Satan? It's interesting, don't you think, Batman? Satanism, at least the things that I've heard about it, is as well, kind of a religion of empowerment of the individual. And from what I've seen, there's this dude called Andrew Callahan. He has this channel called Channel 5. He's a beautiful, I think, one of the last divine reporters that this world has to offer. And his work is very much going to places and then just holding the mic to someone's face. Let them speak their life. Let them be themselves. Just listen to what it is this person has to say. And he went to this uh, SatanCon, satanic convention, something like that, basically, where a bunch of Satanists come together. And the messages that those people had on their hearts wasn't one of murder or sacrifice or, like you add your horrific societal norm slash stereotype of Satanism here. It was more just people talking about human things, the average human experience we're having, how to make the best of this human experience, how to love one another in this human experience. It's separation again, friend. It is people probably growing up being hurt in the church and then going towards the opposite spectrum of it, still being separate, trying to connect with some sort of society, community, unity. It's all paradox, friend. It's all paradox all the way up, all the way down. Good morning to you. Okay, Ed, it's nice to have you. We have Uncle Oms saying, who started Satanism? As far as I know, Satan didn't write any books. It's the same thing for, like, Jesus not being a Christian. Jesus didn't write the Bible. There's not even a book that Jesus wrote in the Bible, for example. What if you're killing someone to protect someone that does that make it right? Satanist might say so. I don't know, historian. I hope and believe that I will never be in a situation where I'll have to kill someone. I worry because I have this understanding in myself of practicing nonviolence doesn't mean letting yourself or your loved ones get hurt. So that is a nice way of saying if someone tried to kill me, I'd kill them first. Not because it's right or because it's wrong, just because I wouldn't go about killing people. And if someone tried to kill me, that means they would go about killing people. So me killing them would mean there's less people that want to kill people in the world. You know, I'd logic myself out of it, but I'd logic myself into it as well. Thank you for the love, for the wholesome. I appreciate that, Happy Smile Seeker. Truth teller, bringer of light, they say. Damage case. Damage case? Damage case. Damage case. Don't laugh at me, please. Damage case. The church lied to me more than any Satanist I've met. Oh, yeah, to me too, friend. It's just the stories of separation, dude. So many stories of separation. So many stories of you are this, and this is this, and you need this in order to be something, anything at all. Maxine, love you, friend. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you here with us. So Satanism sounds like an answer to people upset at the church to me. I mean, that's why I think the Satanistic church became a thing in the first place. Uncle Oms has not much to do with Satan, but choose to the name the belief system after the antagonist of the church. Exactly. It's a counterculture. It's like us being, like maybe there is a world, for example, like to bring an example. Oh, we are the church of blobs. We really like rounded, smooth, organic looking shapes. And we worship these organic looking shapes because organic looking shapes is what the universe intended for us. And then in this organic looking shaped church, we have people that are smooth brain because of their smooth, surface worshiping. I'm trying to make a bad example, but you do get what I'm getting at. And then because of their smooth brainness, they project onto you, they say hurtful things, they expect you to be something you're not, they judge you for living your life in the way that you feel is right for you. And then because you get hurt in this church of blob, you go to church of spiky spikes, and now there's spikes everywhere and everything is sharp and straight lined, and now you're like part of this church because blobby blob church did all of these things to you. But it's always this story of separation. We as human beings like community, and the fact that we have now had this religious kind of system, this tribal mentality around religion, that is the thing that is kind of keeping us back right now, not propelling us forward. What does it mean to be right? The church lied to me more. It is true. Satanism exists in countries that are not predominantly Christian. That's a good question to ask as well. I think you have to go and Google that. I'm not exactly sure. The most religion I have is follow your heart, and the universe will lead you in the right direction and teach you what you need. Dry and I agree to the T, 100% with you. But if I had to say that exact words to my dad, he would tell me that is a lie. He would tell me I would go to hell if I did that, because following my heart wouldn't bring me to heaven. The only way that I could be brought to heaven is if I follow Jesus. And that's the thing that bothers me, is because it's this constant separation. You're not good enough, you need something. You're not good enough, you need something. You are already enough. You are not wrong just because you're not living in a way that society doesn't deem normal. You're living your life. You can only be right about yourself. Doesn't believe in Satan or God. They believe in doing what thou will as long as it's not hurting anyone. That's it, Rambler. Maybe Satan got a bad rap. He just had daddy and authoritarian issues. Not only that, dude, but if the God that created him, it was omnipotent, infinite in nature, then it knew that Satan would be the way that he was and created him in that way so that he can play the role that Satan played. And if there wasn't the role of Satan playing that role, then there wouldn't be that role within the infinite, which means there would be lack within the infinite. So even even in this religious context, even Satan is supposed to be there, has purpose, has love as his core. That's the way that I think of it, at least. But there's both theists, non-theists, factions of Satanism. That's interesting, actually. I didn't know that either. Thank you, Damage Case, for teaching me as well, friend. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Okay, thank you for the love, friend. Hail yourself first. Okay, Ad. Hail yourself. When it comes to the direct philosophical quandaries of life, I haven't read this one. When it comes to the direct philosophical quandaries of life, there is no room for decision making. We observe a world we create. The artist decides his regrets, not the painting. Yo, where's my pen, yo? Here it is. That one is going in the book of things we're saying. Damn, Wizik. Damn, dude, you can't just go about and drop some wisdoms on us like that. The painter finds fault, not the painting. Come again? The artist decides his regrets, not the painting. Inside my brain, even more infinity. The artist decides his regrets, not the painting. Wow, wow, oh my, wow. Oh goodness, thank you, brother Isaac. Don't get too tempered to dose your dad. I've been, I mean, I want to, but I won't. I won't, Ryan. Knowing maybe the word, oh yes, I think you wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't. I like one because again, intention. He needs to do it with an intention of actually growing. Otherwise, he's just gonna melt. Like sure, melt more, but remember, love is true, right? Like it's almost like a formula in my brain where if I'm melting, I'm like, yeah, it's fine, oh, melt more, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just melt more. You know, my physical existence, what I think of as myself, and then there is this observer just sitting, being neat. But I can do that because I know love is true. So if everything else melts away, that fundamental truth will still arise out of that infinity. Love is true. But my dad doesn't necessarily know that just yet. And not only that, but I don't think he is equipped to just do it that way. I would like to do it with him. I asked him again today, does he have stuff to do? He would, you know what? I'm gonna drop it. I won't. Thank you, Brother Ryan, for making sure though. Like that would be like evil in my opinion if I did that. When I was in high school, I would buy satanic Bibles to take to school just because it scared people, especially the teachers. Daniel, I can definitely see that. I was the high school student that was I was like an atheist in high school. I went from being Orthodox Christian, Bible thumping, asking people if they know, the Bible. It was kind of cringe, and then I continued doing this, and I believed with a certain, depth. I started believing with a certain depth, and I was like praying, and I was like asking for wisdom and for insight and for help. I was like trying to save this world through prayer, and there was just nothing, like zilch. And I was like, shit, yo, does he not hear me? Does he not care? What's going on? Like I read in this Bible that I'm supposed to be believing in that he's been like chatting up people all the time. Look at all of these people meeting God. Fear not, burning bushes, showing up, burning letters into temple sides, people praying and having fire come out the top of their heads. I was like, this sounds lit, yo. This Christianity thing sounds like a vibe. And I was like trying. I was really trying to believe, but I couldn't, because there was no more depth in that belief than there was within me. My depth to believe it in the first place. And then when I realized that, when I truly realized it, it kind of came along with this perspective of the archetype that the Bible was trying to portray, and this beauty in the father relationship, or the fatherly love that the Bible is trying to portray, and then feeling like my father wasn't that, that if out of this, imagery, out of this archetype that my family is now trying to live towards, the person who is trying to be the head of the house and is proclaiming to be the holiest of us all, when it comes to his relationship with this God, isn't that. Isn't this omnipotent, ever present, loving individual, not even remotely. So it became this separation inside of myself of, if this is what my father is like, why would I want another father? Why would I want a super daddy, if you will? So I became extremely depressed, and alongside extreme depression, extremely atheistic, to the point of becoming like ridiculely. Because unfortunately, up until that point, I was manically studying the Bible. So I would go to school and we would like have these mandatory Bible classes, for example. And it got so bad to the point where the preachers didn't want me in the Bible classes with them, because I was asking them questions that they didn't have the capacity to answer. I would just keep throwing paradoxes at them. I'm like, oh, this is how it is, huh? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, but how about this paradox that is within the Bible? And they're like, oh yeah, but and that was like my mission. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wreck this dude, straight up melt his brain. And I took a certain sense of pride out of that, out of the whole proving them wrong, and now I've kind of gotten to this point, at least in myself, where I think I have balance between not believing in any deity, any god, in atheism, to believing in a particular god within religion, to believing God as spirituality. Just believing, that religion is when a bunch of people come together and agree on what God is. Spirituality is the pursuit of what God is. And you can only pursue it from yourself. You can close your eyes and you can sit on one spot and you can pursue what God is. And that is the truth. In my world, that is the truth. There's no book, there is no story that is going to be able to give you the depth that you can give yourself. But that is the thing that we are a little bit stuck on. Kind of like this, individuality, survival of the fittest. We ask others for their opinions, but why? We are looking to justify our beliefs and our actions, or are we trying to see who someone is? I think maybe even both, dude. Like I feel it's like the Stoic philosophy of Marcus Aurelius comes up in my mind, where he talks about all of us love ourselves the most. We love ourselves, our person, the most, but we don't care about our opinion about this person the most, to the point where it would be almost impossible for us to go throughout the entire day saying every single thing that comes up to our mind that we think about, scared we're gonna get ridiculed. I feel like them. Okay, I'm not too lazy. Hi, everyone individually. It's okay, dude. Making the individuals feel like that is a big problem. Maybe people know that I like it. We like you, Daniel. It's completely chill, dude. I feel like I'm giving someone the green light to manipulate me if they know what I that I like them. Daniel, love everyone, friend. If they're gonna try and manipulate you, let them. See where that manipulation goes, and realize that you always have control to stop that as well. That's the worst advice I could probably give, but I've been manipulated a fair bit myself, and it has only allowed me to become more unmanipulatable. Yes, which is dumb because no one can manipulate me, not even me. Daniel, can you relate to that, Daniel? People sometimes, in general, can have underlying agendas that I try to avoid. Oh yeah, that is unfortunately the truth. That is probably the safest space in which you can open. No one here wants to manipulate you, just to listen. That is fortunately the truth as well, Isaac. You know, like I know that you friends are me, weirdly enough, you know. Like there is no separation. I'm just me as myself and you are this me as you. Because we all use the same word. If I say me and I point to this, me. All right, we can all do that. No separation. Oh, we try to tell. Wait. Fun fact: the highest holiday of Satanists is their birthday. Someone who worships themselves, Satanist, whether they know it or not. There we go. Oh, Daniel, I'm gonna use that one. Everybody's a Satanist. Daniel, we try to tell ourselves that we instead tell ourselves what we are instead of looking at our actions and seeing the label that is appropriate. I am off for an appointment, but have a wonderful day, Melt, and everyone that joined today. Love to you, Cigar. Thank you for joining us, friend. It's nice to share the space. It really was. What denomination is your dad? Achje is? I don't even know what it means anymore. Dude, Achje is kerk is what they are here in South Africa. At what point have you melted all the melts, only being able to love that there is nothing left to melt? What then? Nowhere to melt, just up. I think the philosophy of melt more to me is the fact that you can continue melting, Mariah. That you will continue melting layers off of your awareness, you know, this I in the center of your being. This body can fall away, your light body can fall away, your awareness of anything in your environment, complete pitch black darkness, even that can fall away, can melt away, and there will still be that awareness smack dab in the center of it. And even then, you can still go deeper into it. Like there is no finishing. I think that's the beauty of it, Mariah. Hey, it's insane joining us on the YouTube as well. I see you are supposed to believe, trust that God is working in your life, but people are taught that they will know that God is doing this thing. Yeah, it's true as well. The conundrum, you can catch extreme Christians fairly easy. Melt, have you asked your dad if God created evil? He believes that God can't create evil. And I'm like, but there is evil in the world. And he's like, yeah, God gave us free will, but he didn't create evil. And I'm like, but yeah, I've already had the conversation, Isaac, multiple times. That was a question for me talking about hateful Christian clients. Just have them ponder. Yeah, like he believes that we are the evil ones. He doesn't believe that he created it. And I'm like, but what about tsunamis killing millions of people? Isn't that evil? He's like, no, that's just nature. I'm like, okay. I'm starting to not see at all what you mean. Yes. He said it. He said the word, Mariah. I don't dismiss religious texts. Even if the supernatural aspects is not important to me, there is still a lot of practical knowledge, and that I agree with. I believe the Bible is one of the most magical objects on the planet. You know, it's literally a magical artifact. But the human beings and all of the conscious attention, all of the human beings who have put conscious attention into it, is what makes it magical. Not the object itself, but the amount of human belief behind it. Mariah, the word. I'm confused about what word we're talking about right now, but I'm curious. I'm curious as to what word I said that I wasn't supposed to say or was supposed to say. Who knows? Gibbity goobity goobity, but I have no doobie. Gob, I think I might start smoking again, dude. I think I might start smoking again, dude. I I don't like thinking this much, man. Like I really don't like thinking this much. It's kind of uncomfortable. Usually they answer quickly. No, no, God didn't make evil. The devil made evil. Then I ask, well, isn't God old and you know, for me, one of the biggest things for me, you know, is the fact that in the Bible, and this is the biggest paradox that I like to bring to Christians if they are trying to convince me to believe in Christianity. This is how I tell them they won't be able to convince me to believe in Christianity. I go into this mindset of there was this story of Adam and Eve, right? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, so Adam and Eve were the fundamental creations of God. And not only were they the fundamental declarations, but in the Bible it states that they were the crown of creation. Like literally the jewel. God created everything, and then out of everything, the jewel of creation that God made was humanity. This is how the Bible kind of depicts it. I'm like, okay, that sounds nice. Then in this freaking beautiful garden, literally within the infinite universe, there is this one little speckly speck of garden on the speck of planet Earth, right? And within this speck, there are two smaller specks that is Adam and Eve living here. And then there was another speck that happened to be Satan, and he was convincing them to eat specks off of another speck that they weren't supposed to eat specks off of. And not only did this happen, but God created both the thing they were not supposed to eat off of, the thing that was going to try and convince them to eat off of, but was also omnipotent during all of this, so he knew all of this. And then also gave them free will to be able to do the thing that he knew they were going to do. And then they did it. And then he punished them for it. And now we're living the lives we're living. Right? So that whole paradox. And then alongside that, if God is this creator, this omnipotent being, why not, when he created the jewel of his creation, take this Satan character, who he also created, and put him on the other side of the universe, instead of putting them on the same planet as the crown of his creation? So yeah, like I can get into this all day, but I don't want to. Gob, gowdy goobity, how are you? So much love being sent. Broken, getting broker. There we go, Gob. Keep manifesting being broke, dude. Or stop! Damn it, Gob, stop it! Stop it! Getting richer every day. Broke, but getting richer. Doesn't that sound better to you? Me being aggressively positive, please forgive me. I get a little bit angry when people manifest stuff they don't want, Gob. Do you want us to believe you? Yes, Gob is getting even broker. Let's all believe that as a collective. Do you want us to, Gob? No. Damn. Gets even angrier. Yeah, you know Gob. I think I missed one from Isaac. They start to point out that I'm trying to make. They start to get to the point that I'm trying to make. If God is a first person who has a personality like so many fundamentalists believes, he knowingly created souls to damn them. Yep, I agree. And then he would create a work of art knowing it is going to continuously disrespect and tarnish for eternity. So God must have created evil. He created hell. What's all for kicks? Yeah, exactly, dude. It's all paradox all the way down, and I cannot believe in a paradoxical religion. I would rather believe in the fact of paradox itself. I feel you, God, but melting too much, moderation. I agree with that as well, Mariah. There should be moments of consolidation, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at as well. Like, I think my dad would be able to melt, but I don't know if he'd be able to rebuild himself properly if he doesn't realize he's melting. I think that's the kind of the point I was trying to get at. Thank you, though, a beloved friend. How do you spell that? Denomination? I'm not sure. Believing in that God, to believe that we are pawns in a game for a mad king's enjoyment. That is God I'm glad to go to hell against. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Because we're not slaves. That is literally slave mentality, dude. And the Bible actively talks about people having slaves because that's the world that they lived in. They even talk about how it's okay to have slaves, and I asked my dad about these texts, you know, and he's like, yeah, we're still slaves technically. I'm like, Dad, yo, dude, please, please. It's fair to take away something that people hold dear to their heart. I feel if it's a cactus they're holding on to, maybe, Daniel. People can love cactuses as well, but it doesn't mean that we want them to hold on to it. Glenn, thank you for the love. It's nice to see you here, friend. How can I get live broadcast in my feed? You follow one of these subreddits, friend. You should be able to find it. Like if you go and follow Arpan and the U Show and the Haywire Hill, You should be able to get us in your feed, the opinion dudes. Sorry for taking so long, beloved friend. The sad thing is that you replace heart with Jesus, and it could say the same. The universe teach you lessons. Yep, yep, yep. That you even is not always fun. No, but it's not supposed to be. You know, we're not here necessarily just to have fun. We're here to experience. Happy Smile Seeker saying, Melt, just go up to your dad and tell him that you love him. I do that all the time, fortunately. And you hope you did not let him down at some point in life. Tell him you are proud of him and just watch what happens. That's your answer. And I do that, Smile Seeker. You know, like, fortunately, I do that. I try and make a point out of it, even. But it's like it's like placing band-aids on burn wounds. You know, that's kind of what it's like sometimes. At least that's the way it feels. You know, like the burn wounds are so severe, and like water laden that the stickers can't even the band-aids can't even stick to the wounds. I dreamt about a burning bush once. There we go. I heard this beautiful analogy that the burning bush was supposed to be an analogy that God can be in this world without destroying the world. He can burn a bush without finishing burning the bush, if that makes any sense. Let them be wrong about you. I feel that. Thank you, Sensane, for that love, friend. Thank you for the energy, ice, professional. When Ven Instangu? I don't know what that means. Lick, if you lick. Lick you, friend. Love to you. Thank you. Dry story. And find the people that you would let manipulate. Find the people that you would let manipulate you, who choose to take the higher path and not. Dry story. And I feel like I'm having a hard time understanding your messages today. Love you, though, friend. Find the people that you would let manipulate you, but would choose to take the higher path and not. Ooh, okay. Now I understand what you're saying. Yes. Yes, people that you love and trust so much that they could manipulate you, but people that love and trust you so much that they don't want to manipulate you. I love that. Very interesting. It's all you, Redditor. Just popping in to say hi. Love you. Heather, thank you for joining us. I don't think we have true free will. I think we can push against our chosen paths, but what is supposed to happen will happen. I feel it's kind of related to the way I see things, Dry Historian, where I believe everything within infinity. That's the way that I kind of sum it up. Everything within infinity, literally everything. So if humans killing humans is evil, does that make all military evil? I do believe that, Maxine. But then again, military can be used as a means to protect the country. Non-violence, not meaning not practicing violence ever, not meaning letting people walk over you. I don't know. I don't know anything, Maxine. Thank you for the love on B. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Is it maybe happy birthday's cake day? Tata. See you next time. See you next time, Batman. Thank you for joining us. How's everyone doing today? I'm feeling pretty good on B. I'm noticing. I'm noticing. How about you? I understand that. Beautifully said. The bandages cannot stick to those wounds. I totally get it. It's not that I try, friend. It's just that it's almost like meaningless, you know. Like I can tell him I love him as much as I want to. I haven't heard him say he's proud of me much, but he doesn't believe in what it is I'm doing, friend. And in the same way, I guess I don't believe in what he's doing either. You know, and I guess that hurts me too. My dad is very much still caught in the old fractal of how things used to be, and at this point of his life, he still needs to be. So I can't be angry or judgmental of him for that either. Brother Dan, we're talking about some stuff again. It's nice to have you here. How are you doing, friend? We are just poo particles in the fart cloud of God, and he almost forgot about the fart. What the fuck? I like that, Gob. That's what I'm saying, Gob. Love it to being a fart. I started yesterday that I find conundrum to be hilarious. What a conundrum. Ah, yes. Conundrum is almost like paradox, right? Intense Christianity to me is rooted either in fear to face the possibility of no great plan, no value to our lives, or it is a control of people by preying on said fear. You, oh yeah. And not only that, but it's also to me this get out of jail free card, I've noticed, at least for some people. In a world where there is no great plan, no value attached to things, the individual experiences are allowed to be infinite to the individual. It seems like a much kinder world. That's the world we want to believe in, at least, Wiseek. We're teaching that. Get punished, bro. Always learn best from punishments. I feel like I am being punished, though. That's the thing, it's insane. I feel like I'm being punished just for trying, dude. It's a little bit disheartening. But I guess that's the joke. It's insane out here with a comic Dom King. You have a Dom King? That's insane. We are here to be happy. That's right, Ernest. But we as humans make our situations harder than it needs to be, especially. They expect people to attack them, not just do the opposite. I find that punishment from one's own mind is the key. If punished by an overpowered or misguided government, the lesson learned could be negative. Exactly. You just learn how to not get punished again. To them, you are also hugging a cactus. My philosophy is melting more, though, Daniel. It's literally an acknowledgement of letting go, of surrender, of relaxing, of time, the infinite within time, of the duality. Like all of those understandings are there for me every single time I acknowledge myself as that name, every single time you friends acknowledge me as that name. I'm not trying to hold on to anything, quite the contrary. Puppy is chewing on a thorny bush, thorny piece of stick. Hello, puppy. Hello, puppy. That's a mush mush. Wanna come and sit with me? Okay, go, go. There you go, sweetie girl. My mom hasn't said she loves me in at least a year or so. I feel this. I love you, dry historian. I love you, friend. They don't have to say it to us because we know it's true. You are loved. You are loving. You are lovable. Nobody needs to prove that to you. We make our own lives that we do, Ernest. That's the world we live in. That's the world I believe we need to be living in. That if we all actually kind of acknowledge this power to make our own lives, and if we can come together to make a life that is worth living, we're going to have that life. Don't you think, Paul? Don't you think, friend? Good morning to you, dude. Like I'm getting worked up. Oh, I'm getting a little bit worked up by this experience of being right, being wrong. How, Paul? And I'm thinking about you, dude. Like one of the first times that I tuned into Paul's streams, he told me that he's been making fun of me on his streams, from this perspective of, oh, this Meltmore dude being like, oh, but I'm in love, oh, I'm in light, and yes, yes, that too, and it was an experience of kind of connecting with Paul and him connecting with this understanding that he was making fun of me. And still, even though we both live in different worlds, we see the world in different ways, neither of us had to prove each other wrong. I didn't have to prove Paul wrong. T T F TRAV. I didn't have to prove him wrong about me. He just spent enough time listening to what it is I'm saying to form a better understanding about who I am and about the person that I'm trying to be. Thank you, Paul. I love you, friend. That's what we're talking about today, dude. My dad has this idea of who I am and of what I'm trying to do. And it hurts me to see this idea in his head of me. But I realize more so than ever, and you have taught me that as well, Brother Paul, that I cannot change people's opinion. I cannot prove them wrong about me. That there's no such thing. That was the first thing that I've read today. The quality of farts. The quality of farts determine the quality of your hearts. Love you, God. There we go, Paul. I mean, where can you show up where you read stuff like that? Thank you for that, Mel. Thank you. Thank you, Raya Story, and for allowing me to, friend. That's the beauty of it. You're showing up for it. I admit I was wrong. That takes a big man as well, Paul. I don't think you were ever wrong, though, dude, because you were technically right. I am woo woo, hippie, optimistic, maybe naive, maybe illusioned, disillusioned. Maybe I'm, what other words? A puppy? I think naive is a good one. Maybe I am naive, but I don't want to be educated. I don't want to be knowledgeable if that knowledge is going to make me less loving. And it's not that I'm unaware. I have access to the same internet that we all do. We can all see the horrors of humanity literally within seconds if you want to. It'll take you a minute for you to see the horrors of humanity, but it will take you the same minute to find something beautiful. I think our Reddit stream is dropping. Love you, friends. I might, disappear. We have Charles saying, a life hacks calendar entry. If a red line starts moving toward the center of your body from a bug bite, cut or scratch is a serious sign of an infection. Make sure you see a doctor immediately. I saw one like that recently of a dude that had a mosquito bite, and a Redditor saved his life. There we go. My stream finally dropped. Oh well. Guess that's that. That's the world we live in. Oof, this has been an intense one. I appreciate facing the tough conversation. I'm going to head out. This conversation has been ever present lately, and I think I need to lean into joyous endeavors. Thank you, Brother Wisek. Please do that, friend. Thank you, friends, for the love and conversation. I'll see you all again soon. Love you, friend. Hey, Shannon and Nana of the 1111, sending love to you too. The point is that we all think in a slightly different way, and some of us think in a drastically different way. Some people literally see reality in a drastically different way. To your dad, the thought of heaven brings him peace, even if he can't see it. Yeah. You're right. And that's kind of the point we're trying to make today, Daniel, is that people's way of seeing the world can be so drastically different that the way they see you could be wrong. But you cannot change the way they see you because you would have to change the way they see everything, and it's impossible. So all you can do is see yourself. Thank you, Brother Bay, for sharing. Can't all be sunshine. That's how deserts are formed. That's a beautiful one as well, Ernest. Why do hearts look like butts, anyways? I believe it's actually that way intentionally. A woman, and I like this is something I've read. I don't know if it's actually true, and do excuse me if it's triggering, but history. A woman's buttocks, with her legs crossed, is the shape of a heart, and apparently that was the inspiration for love. Like seeing that inspired love or whatever. Because both make the world go round. There we go, Ernest, with the coy answer. No one is all good, but only a few are all bad. I don't even think anybody is all bad. They might have convinced themselves that they are, and now they're living into it, but they can be convinced otherwise as well. And even those that are bad were born a certain way. There we go. That's what I was meaning as well, Daniel. Thank you. That doesn't excuse their actions, but it shows that all of the bad they see, protection they want, and attention makes money. Not only that, friend, but it becomes their reality. So in the same way that it can happen with Christianity, it becomes who they think they are. And then not being that leaves them not knowing who they are. Who am I if I'm not a Christian? Who am I if I'm not a murderer? Who am I if I'm not a, serial killer? Who am I if I'm not this? Who am I if I'm not that? Not realizing that we don't have to be anything, that you can melt more, that all of these stories, all of these conceptions of self can melt away, and there you are. You don't need all of these things, you know? And that's the understanding that I have. That's the worldview that I have. That I understand that it's impossible to give that to someone. It's impossible to give my dad the understanding that I have, that I've had of everything. Everything that I think of as myself, everything that I think of as my world, everything that I think of as my ego likes and dislike melting away in front of my eyes and leaving me just being. And then trying to give my dad that experience, you know, and him being like, no, I understand that experience. I can't prove him wrong. I can't prove him wrong. I don't have to prove him wrong. I'm not going to prove him wrong. Media companies know that negativity grabs people's attention, so they choose to show it over positivity. That's true, Daniel. That's why our internet is the way that it is right now. But it is changing. At least we have people like us trying to bring nodes of positivity into the world instead of more nodes of negativity. And who knows? This stream might be interpreted as a negative stream. I feel there was still love in it because we had cool discussions. We got to have closeness with one another and being able to feel into ideas, into problems that we're all facing instead of just going through it alone. Even if all the negativity in the world make up 1% in reality, it doesn't matter because it's shown so much. Yep, yep, yep. It's what brings people back, you know. Negativity is what brings people back when it comes to media. And that's something that I've vowed never to be, you know. Oh no! Oh no, goodness, oh, things are so horrible. Tune in tomorrow so that you can know if things are still horrible. No. How about no? How about tune in tomorrow to see how things are still wonderful? How about that? And if you don't tune in tomorrow because things are so wonderful in your world that you don't need more wonder, then that's fantastic. That is absolutely breathtakingly, flabbergastingly amazing, you know, and that should be what's encouraged. But that doesn't make us money, so it isn't encouraged. But I don't need any money. I don't wish I could just burn money, dude. Just evaporate it. Suddenly there's no more money. There's just the individual. And the individual deserves to eat food, have a place to live, the resources to make works of art with. There we go. Man, some of my cars are splitting and they're catching on one another. I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but facts. Yeah, dude, that's the way it is, man. It literally is the way it is. I'm not even joking. Like, that's literally the model that the news companies work on. They perpetuate fear, kind of like, oh, this is something horrible that's happening, you know, and then you have to tune in the next day to see if you're still supposed to be afraid, to see if you're still supposed to be scared of what's happening in the world right now. Oh, I'll tune in tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna see if you still should be scared. No, no. We don't want to be scared. No. We don't want to be scared, do we? No, we don't. No. You sweetie patootie. No more scare. Love is true. Fear isn't. Fear is not true. Can be helpful if you're standing, you know, looking down on a cliff. Can be helpful when someone pulls a knife on you because you can get yourself away from that. But it's not the truth. It doesn't become the truth within the world. Yeah, people pulling knives on me is the truth. No. Healing waters again. Healing waters. It's funny how 24-hour news channels turn the tiniest stories into huge chills just to have something to report. Sensationalism. Sensationalism. The card below. Sensationalism. There we go. Sensationalism. Words. Words are hard, yo. Healing waters. This card is so wrecked. Look at that giant gap. You cannot see it. Believe me. Believe me, there's a big gap. I need to fix this card. Like soon. Like real soon. I'm gonna fix it today. Get a glue stick. And I'm gonna probably use like a straightener, I think. I like this card. Me too, actually, Shannon. It's an important one. Healing waters. Again, seven geometry, or seven as a call to awareness. We did put it upside down, so I'm gonna read what it says first. It goes, the flow of healing and creativity has been interrupted. Take action in a gentle manner to cleanse your thoughts and restore your flow. Mm, Thank you. The flow of this legendary waterfall cascades over seven pools. Recognized as a place of restorative energies, these seven pools were used to cleanse and heal wounded warriors in old Hawaii. The multicircular geometry of the flower of life is subtly embedded into the rocks surrounding the falls, and out of this configuration, seven spheres are revealed, merging the flow of cleansing water with these seven rainbow chakric spheres provides an opportunity to balance the etheric body as well as that of the three-dimensional world. This card counsels you to acknowledge the innate ability you already have to heal yourself and to realize that that as you progress towards personal well being, you will be able to cleanse all manner of unwanted energies from your heart and mind. As you stand beneath your shower, visualize the flow as cleansing and rejuvenating your body, mind, and spirit. As you observe the flow of water in rivers, oceans, or waterfalls, envision healing energies. In doing so, you do not only support your own healing, but you also facilitate the healing of the heart. You also facilitate healing the heart and mind of our collective consciousness. Each moment towards personal wholeness acts also upon the whole of reality. Each decision to choose wellness over injury heals also the body of our planet. Oh, they're laminated? They are laminated, friend. I laminated them when I was in China, but that was like 3 and a bit years ago now, so they did keep well. And I did want to protect my cards as much as I could, keep them from getting all kinds of wrecked. But it seems the little plastic pouches are getting a little bit kind of wrecked as well now. Beautiful card. Thank you, beautiful Clint, for listening, friend, with your beautiful ears and finding beauty out of nothing, dude. Infinite darkness, infinite void of space, and then here in this moment you pull beauty, you pull love, anchoring love into this moment, into nature from a place of spirit. You, Clint. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Daniel. I'm the guy who said he was diagnosed with DID. I don't know what DID is, unfortunately, Daniel. Daniel in the. Okay, maybe just Daniel is dazzling. Daniel has been diagnosed with Daniel is dazzling disorder. DID. Daniel is disorder, maybe. I'm waiting for you, friend. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I love you all so much. Melt and all of you amazing friends. Shannon, love you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Peppy, say bye bye to Shannon. Hmm? Okay, friends. I don't know if Daniel might have left. I'm going to take it as Daniel is dazzling. He's been diagnosed with Daniel is dazzling. Love you, Jovan. Love you, Clint. Love you, Shan. Love you, friends. Thank you for joining me, for sharing some moments. I look forward to seeing you friends again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Cheers, cheers.